Today we are talking about marine debris and coral reefs. A coral reef is a unique ecosystem underwater that is formed by the growth and deposit of coral. The skeletons of these corals solidify and create this rock-like reef. Coral reefs are often referred to as the rainforest of the sea because of the extremely diverse life that lives in its ecosystem. Coral reefs are found all over the world, primarily where there is warm water. The biggest reefs are found in shallow, clear water in the tropics. The largest is the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. They are incredibly important in sustaining marine life. Around 1/3 of the ocean's fish rely on coral reefs to shelter, find food, and reproduce. A single coral reef can support thousands and thousands of underwater species. They also act as barriers for their adjacent coastlines, protecting the coast from destructive waves, storms, and erosion. The biggest threat to these amazing reefs is marine debris. Marine debris is any litter that ends up in the ocean, seas, and bodies of water not native to that habitat and comes in many forms. You may think of marine debris as basic litter like plastics, trash, and chemicals, but it can also be things like tree limbs and leaves. With that said, most marine debris comes from humans in the form of trash, abandoned fishing gear like lines and nets, sunscreen chemicals, boat fuel, and other kinds of waste. So how does this affect our coral reefs? First, trash and fishing gear can get tangled and caught up in the coral, scratching and dislodging coral and trapping marine life. Sea turtles often mistake plastic bags for jellyfish and eat the plastic, which often leads to death. Another big threat to corals is abandoned vessels or shipwrecks that leave behind harmful chemicals that seep into the reefs and promote the growth of harmful algae. This disruption to the coral habitat makes it difficult for the corals to grow and for marine life to thrive. So how can you help? Even if you don't live close to a coral reef, your trash and debris could wind up there one day because of the strength of the ocean's currents. So it's important that you're mindful with your trash and activities. It's important to reduce your plastic consumption and try to use reusable materials instead. If you go fishing, discard your gear properly, and whenever you go to the ocean, always wear reef-safe sunscreen that does not contain any chemicals that will harm the reefs. If you can, participate in cleanups both on the beach and throughout the seas. One amazing cleanup story comes from the northern Hawaiian Islands, where the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, also known as NOAA, removed almost 80 tons of plastic and fishing nets in 2018. Within 10 days, their cleanup crew had removed 56,000 pounds of netting. That's equivalent to the size of 4 elephants. They later gathered more than 110,000 additional pounds of debris. The plastic and netting they collected was repurposed and used to power electricity for homes in Hawaii and passed on to artists to create works of art out of. Now that you know more about the world's incredible coral reefs and how marine debris threatens them, we encourage you to do your part to save our seas. Visit www.namepa.net and check out our educational resources to learn more.